Wayne, thank you so much for joining me today. I think we should delve into Wayne Rooney, the manager, today, because loads of people know Wayne Rooney, the player. They know the aggression, the technical ability, but I actually think not loads of people know about you as a manager. So how would you describe yourself as a manager?
It's a good question. I think as a manager, of course, you want to be the best you can be, and I think firstly you want your players going out on the pitch and representing you and your character and your beliefs, and so yeah, I think what I've tried to do at the clubs I've been at is be a possession-based team, but with a purpose. I think that's important, that you're not just passing the ball for the sake of it, and you're always trying to find ways and solutions to affect the play in the final third. I think that's the most important part of the pitch, and so yeah, I'm very calm person as a manager, which is a bit different to what I was as a player, but very, very affirmative as well. So
yeah, I was going to say, because you mentioned there very calm personality as a manager. On the pitch, classically, we might not associate Wayne Rooney with that. Where does that come from, that calmness? Is that something you wanted to be around when you were a player, and what's the sort of manager you wanted to play for?
No, I think it's for two reasons. Really, I think it helps me make better decisions and focus on what the game is. And I think what's important is you don't want to get too emotional, because emotions are huge in football, of course. I know that, but when you're making decisions on, making changes throughout the game, and more importantly, I think sometimes if you're as a player and you're looking across and your manager's losing his cool and not keeping his emotions, then that transmits into the players. So yeah, I think for me, I'm calm from that point of view, and I think and everyone's different. You look at Arteta or Pep, they're very out there, and where then you look at other managers who are very calm and a bit more calculated. So yeah. Obviously,
you've worked with some amazing managers in the past as well. Have any of their footballing philosophies rubbed off on how you want to play the game?
Yeah, I think you look at different coaches I've played under, and some of the best coaches out there. Obviously, Sir Alex, Mourinho, Van Gaal, Koeman, Cocu, Capello, Sven-Gunnar Eriksson, Roy Hodgson. There's so many different managers that I've played under, and they all have, real big qualities, and all have faults as well. And I think certainly when I was getting towards the end of my career, and you look back at my time with different managers, and you start thinking why they made these decisions or why they made that decision, etc. And then you start to realise why they're making decisions, and then you're looking at how they played, which was the most effective in possession, out of possession, and then ultimately I come up with what I feel is right for my team, because I think sometimes you can be naive as well, and you can, we all want to think we can go and play like Man City, but it's not possible. I've got them players, but so you have to find the right balance. I think that's important, that you find the right balance with the players you've got. How can you improve the players? How can you stamp your identity on the team, but from a realistic point of view as well.
A really random question that I have to ask, and I've asked a few different managers in the past, is how do you think you would cope managing Wayne Rooney the player? How would Wayne Rooney the manager manage Wayne Rooney the player?
Easy.
Easily?
Yeah.
Well, you think you were an easy player to manage when you were younger?
Yeah.
Do you?
If you manage me right.
And how would you have managed you right?
No, I think sometimes you have to understand that every player is different.
Yeah.
And I've had it every club I've been at, where you get players who are the ultimate professionals, and you tell them things once and that's it, and then you have players who you need to give a bit more time to, and I think ultimately you have to have that relationship with the player and understanding players' backgrounds, and understand why players make decisions, whether that's on the pitch, off the pitch, and so it's very similar to with children. You're a bit younger, so you've got children, but
not yet, Wayne.
No, but obviously I've got 4 boys, and they're all different, and I have to not manage them, but speak to them speak to them in different ways, and it's the same with your players. And some players will be a bit more controversial, some players will be harder to deal with than others, but that's part of your job, and I'd like to think that I deal with the players separately in a good way.
I mean, final question then. What are the goals at Plymouth and wider for your managerial career? If you were to sit down and sort of say, this is what I want to achieve, what do you want to achieve?
I think for everyone, not just myself, but for coaches, players, you want to be the best you can be, and I think obviously as a player I played at the top level, and for me I think you have to work. The minute I become a manager, for me my playing days are obviously done, and I want to put the work in. That's why I've been at Derby County, Birmingham City, DC United, Plymouth Argyle. Now I think is the right step for me, the right club for me, and I want to try and bring success here. We've got a plan in place for the next few years, and hopefully I can bring the club success and be as successful as can be. Of course, one day you want to manage at the top level, and everything I'm doing, the work I'm doing, is to try and eventually get there.
Wayne, love that.
Cheers.
Top man.
Thank you very much.